Hello, BookTube community. It is a lazy daisy Sunday. Um, I had stayed up rather late yesterday finishing the book that I'm going to do the book review on. So today I'm really tired, as you can tell. But it's Sunday, so whatever, I can sleep in, have my fun. So the book review that I'm going to do is on the first volume of Principles of Confirmation Analysis. Tiny little book, read it all in one day, even though I was super busy, which says something. When I first started this book, I got it so it would be an easy read between two fiction books, and I separated them all between the fiction books because I thought that there would be a lot of dryness in the book, because basically it's a mini textbook, and I figured, I'll enjoy reading it, but it's going to be very dry. Even after reading my magazines, which is also very, not dry, but analytical, I really enjoyed reading this book. There was some stories to prove the point. There was a lot of information in this book that was brought to me very concisely, very, without any fluff. You know what I mean? There's no, I'm just so fancy, so you've got to listen to me. The author was just, this is how the way the body works in the horse. This is how the way the body moves in the horse. Therefore, this is what you should be looking for in a horse if you're going to purchase one. Also, what I thoroughly enjoyed about this book is it went through a bit of a guide as to what to look for in a horse and what breeders should be breeding for in a horse. And it didn't do it as, like, for types that we look for. Like I think our newest phase right now is quarter horses have to have these tiny feet on these huge frames, and Arabians have to have these obviously manipulated dished faces instead of the faces that they were started with, which were an elegant flat face. And the author described what a horse would be like if it was bred to be a horse, and how the horse is different than any other land mammal down to the bone structure and what each bone structure is designed to do. Also, it described how the horse is put together in such a way where the saddle would work or wouldn't work, and how a balanced horse looks compared to an unbalanced horse. And what I really enjoyed about this book is right in the beginning it shows how the cavalry started with jumping the horses, and then what we are doing right now for jumping horses. It compared the live horse back in the 1840s or wherever with a rocking horse. So they just assumed that you had to pull the horse's head up to make the tail go down, and they wanted the tail to go down to get that balance. So they kind of had the idea, but it wasn't really what was helping the horse. And it explained who the general who looked at this another way and said, hey, maybe we should be allowing the horses to use their heads and necks. It also went through and described what a horse is in what we look for, and what a horse is in what we felt is pretty. Like the example here of these two horses, we think this is the perfect horse. I think this is the perfect horse. He also pointed out that this horse would also stay just as sound and be just as functional as this horse. It's only that we feel that the perfect horse is the one that looks pretty. So he was able to distinguish between what a functional horse would be and what a beautiful horse would be if it were still functional. Some of the faults that we thought would be like no-goes, he explains how a little bit of that actually would be better for what we want the horse to do. Say pigeon-toedness. A pigeon-toed horse, one that has the hooves that do this, if it's extreme, it's no good. It would cause severe soundness problems. But if it's a wee bit, like tiny bit pigeon-toed, it actually helps the horse to travel faster because it clears up the movement in the chest, and you don't have to worry about them, like the joint opens up more so it works better. Same with a little bit of cowhocked. You don't want a perfectly straight leg, which is what people want in the back nowadays, because the leg tends to wobble as it goes up and down. You want a slight cowhock, actually, even with the stifle, so that there is no wobble when the horse goes up and down. And what I really enjoyed too is he explained that a halter horse class is the horses are looked at primarily when they're in a standing position and they're set up for the judge. Well, that doesn't accurately represent what we want the horse to do, because the horse that we're working with, that we're riding, is in constant motion. So you want something that's going to be a little less beautiful and a little more functional. That was the theme of the book. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a quick read. I think I'm going to look forward to reading the others. So, Principles of Confirmation Analysis, love the book. I am really looking forward to do the rest. I'm actually going to see if this author, Dr. Deb, does more analytical work that I would like to read. Now that frees me up for starting Pride and Prejudice. Now, this was a box set that was given to me by a very dear friend. Thank you very much, Pam. Now, because it's a box set, I look at it as one book, so I'm going to read all 3 of these books that have been broken up. Okay? So, I'm going to start with Pride and Prejudice, and then Sense and Sensibility will be, I guess, my middle one, and Persuasion will be my last one. Really looking forward to these. I've heard a lot about these. It's a classic that, of course, I haven't read, so I'll let you know how these go. But all in all, really excited with Confirmation Analysis, really hyped up to start these, and I will let you know when I've got another book read or something interesting to tape. Thanks very much for listening, guys. Have a happy Sunday.